Hi, I'm Alex. He's Paco, and he's Alex again. Alex, and welcome to your favorite podcast news about business live recording. So today we're going to talk about some news, some latest news of how business is reacting in this time. And I don't know who of you wants to start.
Well, first of all, let's talk about the global perspective of the Ukraine war and all the economic sanctions that comes with that conflict. First of all, some enterprises are cutting ties with Russia and stopping the businesses that they have there. For example, Nokia, they have stopped completely doing business with Russia as kind of a solidarity to the Ukrainian people, and also it has to do with the sanctions that the U.S. and all the other countries have applied to Russia. So this talks about all the consequences of this act. Well, you're talking about a guy who doesn't really, well, he thinks a lot. Where I'm talking about Putin,
Yeah.
he thinks a lot, but I think he's very irrational in some points.
So a nationalist, I think, but it's really important what you're saying, not only about the sanctions, because I mean, I think he doesn't care about the sanctions, you know? He's just like, he's so nationalist, so.
Yes, you're talking about a guy
Yeah.
who rides birds
Birds,
in the
right.
wilderness.
So Russia is the main thing and the only thing in the Russian war for Putin. So it's also really important to see how this conflict has affected all the world, you know? Even here in Mexico, you know, Bimbo, for example, there was a new fabric or company of Bimbo in Ukraine, but it didn't even last maybe 5 years because of this conflict, you know? And yeah, the problem that is coming, that all the agricultural sectors doesn't have the enough chemicals and stuff to make things go better. So
And
it's
increases the prices.
exactly the price of the gas and oil, you know.
Yeah, for example, in the oil, for example, Germany and Poland don't want to be part of the point the Russia oil, so they want to keep like the oil from other countries, for example, from United States. But I think that it's like a little complicated because Russia.
We know Russia is the leader
Is the
of the
leader.
oil and also for the energy. You know, I mean, in Germany, almost the 70% of energy. I mean, gas, oil, life, everything. It's Russian, so
Yeah.
it's really difficult for these kind of countries that are still depending a lot in some sectors like the energy sector to change all the way they're living.
And even, for example, the countries that are like minus development, like for example, Hungary, Republic Czech, and those countries, they need to be always with all the oil from Russia, and even have like this. They need to be like part from Russia because if they don't have the oil from Russia, they will like.
Yeah, they need to be not a friend. I mean, they don't. They
They
are
need
just
to
like
be
a
there.
fake friend.
Yeah,
They
need to
want
be
to
a
be
friend.
there, but just for the interest, you know. They
Yeah,
want
just for the
all-
good stuff.
Yeah, exactly. They don't even think like Russia. I mean, nobody thinks like Russia anymore. Maybe China, but in a kind of
Toned
friendlier way.
Yes,
You know,
yeah.
it's really different. But I think this kind of thinking of Putin is just like out of this century. You know.
Yes,
It's
he's
really
very
old.
conservative.
Exactly.
And
But
I think he has some ideas that are kind of in the middle. He's some
maybe.
too radical in some of the decisions that he makes.
So it's the way Russia lives or has lived ever, you know, these super orthodox ways to live, and more when it comes to
Conflict.
to fight or to a conflict against USA. I think they
Another time.
Yes, and I
they
think-
just want
Yeah.
another conflict with them because they have always been enemies.
This is not a conflict of the USA against Russia, so it's not kind of the Ukrainian people don't have much stand in this. It's more like a superpower conflict.
Exactly. It's super political. I mean,
Yes.
it doesn't has nothing. It doesn't have nothing to do with the people. It's just political. So, yeah. I mean, it's just it will just take time to
Yes.
end this, but I think it's just another version of a Cold War,
Yeah.
I think so.
right?
Yeah, for example, for Putin, it's like the fourth time he's president, and he went to
Yeah.
have like a new renewal for 2026. I don't know. So it's like a lot of time to be as a president. So it can
Yeah.
be like a little difficult for this part.
That's why they keep this old style mind,
Yeah.
you know, because they have the old style politics system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for example, in other things that we can talk about, like the business,
Yeah.
I searched also, for example, that in the crypto, there's like one company that want to start using, like for example, the streaming. If you want to like play HBO or for example Disney
Yeah.
Plus, Netflix, etc. With you can change without money. You can use like the crypto. So I think it's like a good idea. But I don't know how they can start doing this process because it's only with one crypto.
It's just like a crypto national. I mean, you can transfer or translate
Yeah.
the coin or the way
The
you're paying,
amount-
right?
the amount
Yeah.
of the-
I think there's already an app. I mean, you have to
Yes,
download like 3
there's
or 4
even-
apps.
There's even some ATMs that change bitcoins for cash.
Yeah, for cash,
Here,
exactly.
they're looking to put some here in Aguascalientes.
I think crypto is just closer to us than we think, you know.
Yeah.
I think one day we'll be just paying with our cell phone, just like scanning.
Yeah, like
it's
you
already
do,
done.
like the Apple Pay.
Yeah, like in
Apple
Japan or
Pay,
in Amazon, this kind of Amazon stores, these
Yes.
markets where you can pay like that. It's just
Yes, that's incredible. Also,
yeah.
technology to
It's
identify
so-
what you put in the card.
yeah, but what will happen with the cash? You know,
Yeah, I think
that's
that
a good
is-
question because
Yeah, you need to eliminate all
yeah,
the cash.
the older we get, it's we don't need more cash. You know, I mean, as we were kids, I think we only had cash, but when we turned maybe 15 or 18 years old, we already had a car. And with
Yes.
this car, we want everything
The
in
bank
our
account.
car or in the bank account. I mean, we do
Depending on the
use
situation.
cash. Yeah, right. But every time it's just
Like innovating.
yeah, innovating and
Yes.
evolving. So I think one day we'll be just paying with our cell phones, or maybe I don't know, maybe with a kind of chip or.
Yeah, I think that will be the kind of approach we're talking about to the world's payment and all the non cash payments that we can
Yeah.
do, and also
So practical. I think.
yes, everything is just about being wireless and being.
But
disconnected
let's
and
think
independent.
also about the informal market. You know.
Yes,
The
obviously.
ones that they only accept cash, what will happen?
Yeah,
to
for
it?
example, in
They will
Mexico,
need to,
it's-
yeah,
it will be a
they will
problem.
have
And
to
I think
evolve.
there's a lot of pressure from government to evolve to this kind of payments, this kind of monetary transactions.
Maybe not here still, but
because-
we one day we will need to evolve into
Yes,
revolution.
but I
of
think
our
there's a
system.
lot of involvement of the government towards this movement because of the taxing and the
Yeah, the
taxing of
taxes.
the
Yeah, I
the
think
fees.
if they are, I mean, if there are so many informal business, it's just because they want to skip taxes.
Yes,
That's
as
the
long
only
as there's-
reason. There's no other reason
Yeah.
they want to.
as long as there's cash, there's gonna be a way to avoid paying taxes,
Exactly.
Yeah.
and that's the
Exactly.
thing that they want to eradicate.
And if you pass like in a digital form, it will like you can check
It's a
like the
record.
codes. Yeah, it's a
But I
record.
think it's really dangerous. I mean, also to change everything to card or to make to try to eliminate the informal business, because I think at least here in Mexico, informal business is one of the most important. You know.
Yeah, like the
Because-
50%.
Exactly. Just the half of Mexico is informal business, so it will be really dangerous to just try to change it. You know. I mean,
You need like a plan.
yeah, I mean there are a lot of businesses that are already informal, but they don't have enough to keep on track. So what will happen if they get formal? They need to pay more. It's a kind of it's an important question we need to make ourselves.
Yes, and also I think that's the kind of attitude and tone that crypto is getting. some of the people I know are using crypto as a way to kind of move away from cash, but also keep some tax-free revenue because of the low legislation that is according to the crypto. And I think this is a point that it needs to. There's always a need for a non-taxable way to move cash.
Obviously,
And
yeah.
obviously there's going to be.
Obviously.
So I think if the government not put the attention that they do towards other forms of payment, electronic funds and all of these, I think keeping the crypto away from the regulation of the government can be really useful.
Yes.
Well, yeah, there are also, I mean, there are already countries that are taking a step forward to crypto, just like El Salvador, I think.
Yeah, El Salvador.
They want to make a,
Like the.
not a national way, but they, I mean, everybody is looking to them and maybe laughing a little bit, but
In
they're
some
making
years-
a change. They're making a change. They're making something. They're starting something, and maybe one day we will not laugh anymore, and we'll see how important it was
Yeah.
to have this perspective of futuristic payment system.
Yeah, because it's the first person that
Yeah,
makes
exactly.
this change. So, like the first step is like the complicated part, but I think that maybe.
I think one day it will be easier and it will be a need, you know.
Yeah.
There
Yes,
won't
but
be
you're talking
cash
about
money.
depending all the value of your currency and all the economics of your country are depending on a non.
Yeah, right.
Physical
Non-value.
value.
It's
Yes.
it's really subjective.
The
value
the
of this
volatility,
crypto.
the
Yeah,
volatility
exactly. Yeah, that's
of the
right.
coins and the crypto is higher than ever. And you're talking about the instability in a country.
Yeah, I didn't
If you
think
depend
that.
on a crypto, there's gonna be ups and downs all the time, and all the things that
Yeah,
are
like
create as
you can't even control. I mean, just a country can't control the value of its money of its coin. But if you, I mean, you can make something to make it better, to make it worse.
or
but
just stabilize it.
yeah, exactly. But if you have
It's not
crypto,
that
you can't.
complicated, Yeah.
Yeah, you can't.
But for example, Elon Musk with the Dogecoin, when he put a tweet in Twitter
Yeah,
about
right.
the Dogecoin, he can change all the
Yeah,
stock
all the
market.
game, all
Yeah.
the crypto game. So
Yeah. So
just
it's
with
like-
a tweet.
And talking about that, like for example, they knew that buys Twitter in Elon Musk for $44
Yeah, right, for
dollars.
billions,
Yeah,
right?
$1 billion. So I think it's like interesting because he can do whatever.
Whatever he wants.
whatever.
Yeah.
Yes,
He's-
he's the
he's-
owner of half the
he's
world now.
Actually, the king of the world.
Yes.
I mean, like, seriously, he can do what he wants. Just like he publishes with a kind of joke mode.
It's
The,
sadistic.
the way he says, now I'm gonna buy, I
Like,
don't know,
one-
Tlaxcala.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, he can do whatever he wants. And
Yeah.
Yes, he now controls speech and also all the internet.
he controls the whole economic game, you know? He has.
I don't think
Actually,
so.
I think so because, I mean, not in a
He controls.
directly way, but he can
Like a
change
balance.
whatever
He
he
controls
wants.
kind of a part of the future that we're moving towards,
Yeah.
and that's the scary way. And the scary thing about Elon Musk, he can do whatever the hell he wants with us in the future.
But you
But
don't know.
now we are not 100% dependent on his missions and on the technology that
Still.
he's pushing.
Still, yeah.
We're
Yes,
not still.
But in the
10
future,
years,
I
it can
think
change.
it will be. Have you seen? He was pushing around some chips that you can insert in your.
Yeah, right.
Neuralink.
That's
for
really
Neuralink, yeah.
that's really terrifying. You know, I mean, he has always demonstrated
With the
he has
monkeys.
this mind of futuristic, but also like biotechnology way to think. But I mean, he hasn't demonstrated something wrong. You know,
Yes.
he has demonstrated he wants to evolve. He wants to make the human better, the economy better.
Make a change.
Yeah, make a change, but a good change. But
But
we don't have a clue or any information of him. I mean, any exactly
we
information.
don't know his plans.
But exactly, we don't
And
know what he
that's
will
the
think in
scary
2
way.
years when we all have already the chips inserted and he can do whatever
Yes.
he wants.
Yeah.
That's the scary thing about giving too much control to one.
That's
to one
one
person.
person, right?
Yes, he has control over a lot of things, not on the economic aspect, because I think the kind of economy that we.
It's just like a Hollywood movie, right?
Yeah.
Hollywood movie.
Yes.
Hollywood movie.
But yeah, I mean, I'm done. I'm done.
Yeah, for me, like the old times, the topics that we were talking about, for example,
I think it's really, yeah.
the internet, all the business about the Russia,
Right.
the oil. So I think it's like
The main topics
the
now,
main
right?
topics right now. Yeah.
Yes.
So, okay, you saw it and you heard it first here in live recording. And thank you for watching our video and subscribe. Thanks and see you later.